Welcome everyone to a transformative episode of our podcast. Today, we are honored to have a true powerhouse in cybersecurity IT/OT convergence with us. Our guest is a senior manager at Productivity India practice. He's an enterprise architect, a red teamer, a cyber forensic expert with a certified cybersecurity expert with credentials including CISSP trained, TOGAF OSCP, and CHFI, and many more. His expertise has participates and helps to CTOs as well as to the CISO level and guided countless organizations through the intricate landscape of IT/OT convergence, making them a trusted consultant in the field. With a proven track record in secure IT/OT integration, a guest brings a wealth of knowledge to the table. Their insights are not just theoretical, they have a successful implemented convergence strategies that have reshaped their industries. Today, our guests will share their wisdom and experiences, shedding light on the opportunities and challenges of IT/OT convergence. Please join me in welcoming this remarkable expert in the field, Sushil Das.
Hey, thank you, Sai, for the warm intro. It is truly a pleasure to be here and join you in this conversation about IT/OT content. I am excited to share my expertise and insight with your audience today. And let's dive into the critical topics and explore how organizations can navigate the ever-evolving landscape of OT and operational technology and IT landscape security.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so as you have a remarkable expertise in this field, we just wanted to discuss with you regarding the IT/OT convergence in the cyberspace industry. So, in the context of IT/OT convergence, how can an organization ensure business continuity and resilience against unexpected disruptions or disasters?
Okay. See, as a business has a witting of art, like always pumping to keep things alive. In the world of
Yeah.
IT convenience, which is like
Okay.
combining two different type of technology, it's super important to be
Okay.
ready to unexpected problems. Like so, things for it
Yeah.
like mapping a perfect team. You have a backup
Okay.
plan and even a backup plan
Okay.
for the backup. For example, in a
Okay.
factory, if the power suddenly goes out, it could stop
Okay.
all the machines, right? So to avoid this, we have
Yeah.
a backup generators, extra systems, and copied of important information. This way,
Okay.
we make sure that when if something goes wrong, the VNS can keep going smoothly without any big interruptions. Also, when we're talking about the your BCP DR, always your BCP always work as a statistic approach, and your DR always work in terms from a top to bottom landscape when we say it's work as a tactical and operational objective. So when any CISOs or CTIOs or any other leadership who can plan to implement such things in the real time environment, they should make care of it. How they can prepare the save and how it is related to your real time environment and give you end to end benefits of each step.
Okay, that's great. That's great to hear, regarding it. So, could you share some examples of successful digital transformation initiatives driven by the IT/OT convergence, and what lessons can others learn from these success?
Okay, so see, when we say IT/OT convince, like organizing a great concert. Let's suppose one fantastic example is how the transportation industry manage traffic, right? They use
Okay.
real time data to make traffic flow better, reducing traffic
Okay.
jams and population. The big lessons here
Okay.
is the data can make things work much smoother, and
Okay.
when the government and business work together, great things happen. It about using data to make things more efficiency and better for the environment. And the idea
Okay.
can definitely help other industries too. The depends upon when we're talking about the oil and gas, when we're talking about the manufacturing, that depends upon the technology and landscape, how they can use and leverage from real time environment.
Oh, that's great. Exactly. So, when implementing the IT/OT convergence, how can organizations ensure that they maintain the compliance with industry-specific regulations, with also focusing on the security part?
Okay. So see, when organizations combine their IT OT systems, they need to follow a industry specific rule and also make sure everything stays secure. For let's suppose if we take an example in a for a healthcare industry, we call it as a firm for HIPAA and other. So they have a protect patient information, right? Let's suppose if
Okay.
someone patient admit any of the hospitalized. So to do that, they use special technology and mechanism. Let's suppose we call it as a encryption and access control. Keep data safe. Similarly,
Mm.
in finance, they must safeguard sensitive financial data, right? The
Okay.
important thing is to bring in expert who knows this role really well. So they make sure that security is part of the plan right from the start. This way,
Okay.
companies meet all those legal and requirements and keep everything set. From that
Okay.
perspective, because it definitely vary to business to business. Let's suppose if I'm a financial sector, so I'm most focusing for few of the controls like PCI or any of the GDPR or the land.
Correct.
Without
Correct.
of that,
Exactly.
if we're talking
Yeah.
about the OT, you have a NIST 6443 and other 80053. So depends upon the business. It is changing is
Okay. That's absolutely nice. Like we got to know like some insights like how maintain the compliance with the industry specific regulations as well as keeping the security in mind and just keeping it together. So that's very nice actually. So what are some of the emerging technologies like the edge computing and the blockchain that can impact the IT/OT convergence? Like how should the organizations should prepare for this type of integrations?
So when we say emerging technology, such as edge computing and blockchains are the event-grade instrumental in IT/OT content assembly. So edge
Yeah. Okay.
computing deliver real-time processing capability. Okay, while
Mm-hmm,
blockchains
mm-hmm.
ensure immutable data integrity. So organizations should
Okay.
approach this technology strategically. For instance,
Okay.
in supply chain management, blockchains can establish trust and transparency in transactions. So when we say
Yeah.
the preparations involve accessing, use case,
Okay.
evaluating benefits, and implementing stringent security measures tailored to each
Okay.
technology and the integration. So how this it could be
Okay. Okay.
organizations should be need
Okay.
to prepare in their
Yeah.
integration strategy.
Exactly. 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 Okay. So that's very nice. Like we got to also know like how to integrate these emerging tech stacks into the IT/OT convergence accordingly. So that's nice. And how like as the IT/OT convergence introduce a growing number of endpoints. So how can the organizations manage and secure the proprietary like the connection of this like this connected device effectively?
So see, managing and keeping safe all the devices that connect to our systems is like leading a big team, right? We have to use
Okay.
special tools to help us control these devices. Make sure only
Okay.
authorized people can use them, and regularly update
Okay.
their software. Depends on what are the strategies they have followed to update our firmware. The main idea is have to strong rules to apply this all those devices whether they are in a small or large environment. It's like making sure everything, our systems work together smoothly and stay protected. Like so, it's all about keeping
Yeah.
everything organized and secure. That should be a
Oh, that
proper strategy
that
and
yeah,
approach.
that's a kind of a best practice you can say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even a
Okay. That.
detailed plan, how your plan will
Okay.
be going to execute and what will be your specific direction of goal when we implement it.
So you want to say like this segregate proper segregation techniques with proper secure architecture,
Absolutely, absolutely.
that kind of things you're saying, right?
Right,
Oh,
right.
that's absolutely great. Like that will help like in mitigating the risks of the emerging cyber attacks and all over this like this critical industry or the critical infrastructure. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. And how can organizations just measure the return of investment of the IT/OT convergence initiatives, and what are the key indicator performance, like key performance indicators? Sorry, key performance indicators like they should track on it. Like how they will maintain these kind of things,
Sure.
like the return of yeah.
Yeah. So see, measuring the ROI of IT convince, like trying to see if any concern is a hit of with the audience, right? So we use
Okay.
special
Okay.
numbers called we can call as a KPI, right? Key
Yeah.
performance
Yeah.
indicator
Yeah.
to figure it
Yeah.
out. So
Cover.
these KPIs include things like how much time work stop downtime. When we say work stop,
Okay.
we call it as a downtime. How much work
Okay.
more work get done we call this as a productivity, and
Mm-hmm.
how will things are going. So we call this as a
Mm-hmm.
operational effective. So in the
Okay.
company, we need to pick the right KPIs that match their goals. It's all about showing that IT/OT convenience makes things better and add value to the
Mm-hmm.
company profit while making everything wrong better than before.
Okay. Okay. That's absolutely great. Like we got to know like how to measure it effectively, like how the track should be made. So yeah, that's
Because
nice.
whenever we decide
So
KPI, a few of the things also we need to make
yeah, yeah,
into
exactly.
the
Some
picture
parameters you need to set. Yeah.
absolutely in terms to understand the
Okay.
value of the assets and the criticality of the thing.
Okay. That's nice. And like the human factor is crucial in cybersecurity. So how can the organizations build a culture of security that permits both the IT as well as the OT teams?
So see, building a culture of cybersecurity is a key of crafting a masterpiece, right? So it starts with leadership, setting the tone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
emphasizing the security is everyone's responsibility, right? Or training,
Yeah.
regular training awareness program and knowledge
Correct.
sharing sessions play a vital role in
Exactly.
forecasting this culture, right? Because lots of attack
Yeah.
happening through the end user perspective. If your people will be not
Mm-hmm.
aware how the things going on, you will be facing a lot of challenges. Also, in
Yeah.
cybersecurity best practices, so ingredients and both IT OT terms are aligned in their commitment to safeguarding critical assets. It's about nurturing a collective mindset of vigilance.
Okay. So, oh, that's exactly where it becomes, building the culture between the IT and the OT teams. Absolutely great. So, how can you provide some examples of industries that have been slower to embrace the IT OT convergence and the reason behind their hesitations?
So, see, when we say some industry have that, persons embracing IT OT convenience, education of, let's suppose, has faced budget constraints, right, and concerns regarding data
Yeah.
privacy. So the
Okay.
critical nature of privacy regulations in sector like healthcare and finance has also contribute to registration. However, we have
Mm-hmm.
witnessed that even the sector solutions like smart campuses have demonstrated a potential in enhancing security and addressing privacy concerns effectively. Sometimes it's a
Uh-huh.
matter of finding the right harmony between technology and compliance.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, okay. So, like, what are some of the potential implications of geopolitical factors such as the international tensions on IT/OT convergence and the cybersecurity?
So see, geographical factor are like ever shifting current in cyber space. So see, they can introduce new threats and challenges to IT/OT convenience in cyber security. Organizations
Mm-hmm.
must conduct comprehensive geographical risk assessment to identify a potential vulnerability. The
Mm-hmm.
assessment when we say inform adaptive security strategy, ensuring the protection
Okay.
of critical assets in any of the environment landscape by international tensions, right? So it's about
Okay.
getting ahead of no emerging threats while uploading any highest standard of security.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly. So, how can organizations ensure that they have the necessary skills and expertise with their teams to navigate the complexities of the IT/OT convergence?
So see, building. Let's suppose I just give you an example. Building the required expertise, a keen of cultivating a garden of talent. So let's suppose
Okay.
organizations should invest in talent development, offering training
Okay.
and certification to their team. Additionally, hiring
Mm-hmm.
expert with proficiency, in both IT and OT essential. Yet, perhaps the most pivot aspect is forecasting a culture of continuous learning. I think it is a key
Mm-hmm.
point. Also, the term should remain vigilant and stay current with the ever evolving of trends and technology. In this dynamic field,
Mm-hmm.
it's about being prepared and equipped to navigate the multifaceted world of IT/OT companies.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's actually the fact. Like we need to have the necessary skills to handle this kind of
Absolutely.
convergence. So yeah, so that it's best to be prepared, right?
Absolutely, and the
So
major focusing here is your training part, how the organization
yes,
should be
yes,
groom their team.
exactly.
Yes.
The training part should be there. Yeah. So like the adoption of the cloud service recently has grown very much significantly. So how does this cloud computing part intersect with the IT/OT convergence, and what are the considerations should the organization keep in mind in order to embrace these kinds of cloud solutions?
See, so the interactions of cloud computing and IT/OT convenience is a key of harmonizing different sections of ensemble. So cloud service can
Okay,
facilitate data storage and analytics
okay,
in IT/OT convenience. However,
okay.
organizations must consider factors like data sovereignty, security,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
compliance when embracing cloud solutions. So it's about enable thing is seamless integrations that enhance scalability and efficiency
Okay.
while uploading data and security, because we may not know how they are storing data. Because definitely the KPIs and SLA will be there to finalize when we
Okay.
finalize with any vendor. But yeah, we need to little bit more focusing on in terms from the data storing and the landscape.
Okay, okay. That's exactly like the storage integrated with the IT OT regarding the data transfers and all the
Absolutely.
security should be maintained. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, how can you like share some examples of the organizations that have faced significant cybersecurity challenge as a result of this IT OT convergence, and how did they respond to these challenges?
So one notable example is, I just give you a right, what I now I just recall it. So one notable example is the Stocknet's attack. We know everyone on Iranian nuclear program, right? So this
Yeah,
incident
yeah, yeah.
underscored the need of robust cybersecurity measures and
Mm-hmm.
incident response plan in IT/OT convention environment. So organizations like this have responded by enhancing their cybersecurity posture through
Okay,
network segmentation, previous access control,
okay,
and continuous monitoring. So
okay.
it's a lesson in the importance of productive cybersecurity measures. Yeah, because it
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge impact in that environment.
Because yeah, so this like approaches will help us to the respond of these challenges that are
Absolutely.
facing to this critical infrastructure part. So
Right.
yeah, that's exactly, yeah. So in industries with long standard legacy systems, how can organizations smoothly transit, like so make a smooth transition to the IT OT convergence without disrupting the critical operations that are going on?
So see, transitioning from legacy systems to IT/OT convenience is a key of upgrading the instrument is an assemble. So it's a gradual process where organizations carefully plan each step. They identify
Mm-hmm.
legacy systems that can be upgraded or replaced without distributing critical operations. It about
Mm-hmm.
assembling the transactions simultaneously, even ensuring that music never stayed to play, means your business will be not going to hamper from that perspective is what we
Exactly.
are looking for.
Correct. Correct.
Also,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
when we compare between your IT and OT is more critical in terms from a as a human life, or there are other landscape also we have faced in the real time environment when we call as a
Mm-hmm.
gas plant OT, oil and gas environment. So it is very
Yes. Yes.
risky, and there
Very
is should be a
critical.
proper plan and yeah to execute the
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. So, like keeping the criticality of the operations and all, just need to make a more safer transition. You can say like
Absolutely
yeah, like on both the aspect. If you see,
right.
okay. So okay, okay. So got it. Like, what role does the Internet of Things, the IoT, play with the IT/OT convergence, and how can organizations leverage these IoT devices, like within their environment? Like how they can make an introduce it with the like combinedly run this with the IT/OT devices and all.
So the IoT devices are like virtuoso performance in the IT/OT conveyance ensemble. So they provide
Mm-hmm,
valuable data but can introduce security risks. Okay, organizations
mm-hmm,
should
mm-hmm,
implement strong access control, segmentation, segment of IoT network, and regularly upgrade
mm-hmm,
IoT devices framework to mitigate this risk. That they should be defined a particular patches of it in their environment. It's about
mm-hmm.
harmonizing the potential of IoT with robust security measures, creating a symphony of innovation and safety.
Oh, that's yeah, that's becoming like the easy part. Just like you just need to maintain the proper network segmentation with like patching all the firmwares and the vulnerabilities that gets introduced according throughout the pipeline or with
Right.
the landscape, right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
So like how can organizations then ensure the data privacy and customer informations are protected, like when implementing the ITOT convergence, and particularly with the industries with where the strict privacy part is being maintained.
See, so privacy protection is paramount, right? So, akin to
Okay.
safeguarding a treasure trove of valuable information, organizations
Okay.
must conduct privacy impact assessment, implementing data encryption, and ensure compliance with relevant privacy
Okay.
regulations such as GDPR, HIPAA. Now, you know that lots of government regulations also come in terms of data protection, right? And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about enable things, data protection measures that resonate with the highest standard of privacy and
Mm.
security.
Okay.
This is how we can cover
So,
the regulations impact.
oh, that's okay. That's nice actually. Like the data privacy part is also being maintained with it, like with the proper regulations and all the
Yes,
things.
because last
Okay.
1 year government has what Indian government also take lots of things. They have upgrade that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
privacy.
Yes. Yes.
Few
Yes.
months
Yes.
before we always talking with the data
Yes.
privacy protection bill.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, in the context of IT/OT convergence, like how can organizations effectively manage the life cycle of software and hardware components to maintain the security as well as the performance?
Okay. So see, managing the life cycle of software and hardware components in IT/OT environment is a key to conducting a chronographic, symphony. So in involves monitoring software and hardware updates, security patches,
Mm-hmm.
and your we
Mm-hmm.
call it as a USE, like end of life and end of access
Okay.
considerations. Okay, and establishing
Okay.
a
Okay.
well-defined, life cycle management strategy, ensure the systems remain, secure. And when we say, performant and aligned with the organization's goal, this is the objective what we can take
So
it.
mainly you say like proper checklists or the benchmarks regarding it must also be followed. The official benchmarks on how to configure this
Absolutely, because
software.
effectively
Yeah.
manage the life cycle. It depends how they can strategically allow in terms from a OT environment.
Okay.
Therefore, guys, they
So
need to be keep focusing on it.
oh, that's nice actually. Like all the things should be configured and maintained properly throughout the pipeline.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So, are there any specific industries or use cases where IT/OT convergence is driving towards the disruptive innovation, and what potential benefits can organizations in these sectors expect to gain?
So see, when we say if I called in specific IT OT conference, so is a crystal of distributive innovation, much like conductors having a unique composition, right? So the energy sector is
Okay.
experiencing remarkable changes with the integrations
Mm-hmm.
of smart grid and renewables. So benefits include improved energy efficiency, reduced cost, and increased sustainability. So similarly, industry like manufacturing are we're seeing currently the your emerging technology and industry practice will be going on. Your industrial practice will be industry 4.0. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
driving the efficiency and competitiveness through the convergence of information and operational technology.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's nice. So, like, how do you foresee the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning, that is the AI/ML, like evolving with the IT/OT convergence, and what opportunities do they present for the organizations?
Okay. So see, AI and ML are like as a ways to, solistic in the IT/OT conveyance symbols. So bringing
Okay,
intelligence and automation to the, forefront, they can
okay,
analyze vast amount of data, identifying patterns and anomalies,
mm-hmm.
enhancing predictive maintenance and bolstering cybersecurity. So the opportunity are vast from predictive
Okay,
analytics, optimizing
okay,
operations, to anomaly
okay,
detection and for fighting fortified security. So it's about and enable things AI ML applications and
mm-hmm.
resonate with the organization specific needs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's absolutely very nice. Like we can now have the integrate AI/ML with the IT/OT, like in order to find out the things automatically, like how these threats are, how these things are getting disrupted and all. So yeah, so like when planning for IT/OT convergence, like what are the steps that organization should take to ensure that they have the right partnership and vendor relationships in the place?
Sure. So building the right partnership in IT/OT convergence is a key in selecting the right, ensemble of symphony. So organizers should base partner selections on expertise and track record in the IT/OT
Yeah.
convergence. It is essential to establish a clear expectation, collaboration framework,
Okay.
and
Okay.
conscientiously plan with vendor. So the harmonious partnership ensures seamless integration and successful and several stations of converged system,
Yeah.
because we need to
Yes.
focusing
Yes.
on if we not choose any right people in the right field, so they might be
Okay.
facing a lot of challenges, and they should need to also
Okay.
value, identify, do a due diligence, due care based
Mm-hmm.
out of the thing.
Okay. Okay. Like as the IT/OT convergence is progress, like it's getting progress. Like how can organizations ensure that their cybersecurity measures are actually staying ahead of the evolving threats and vulnerabilities?
So staying ahead of involving threat into conducting a symphony in the dynamic environment, it's required
Okay.
continuous monitoring, threat intelligence gathering, and investment in cutting edge of cyber security solutions, right? So regular updates
Yes.
of the security policies and procedures are critical. It's about assembling of productive and adaptive approach to security, ensuring that
Correct.
the landscape of security resonate ahead to ever evolving threat landscape. So what I am
Correct.
expecting
Correct.
that.
Yes. So that's exactly like that like we should be like as per like you see in the terms of the critical infrastructure, we should be ahead of these threats and vulnerabilities, like ahead, very much ahead, because
Absolutely.
yeah, so because in order to mitigate those things. So yeah, that like we had a very nice session, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely very nice, and we
Thank you
got a
so much,
lot of,
Sai.
yeah, and we got a lot of opportunity, like information, like how the regarding the IT/OT convergence, and so like like we can go across in the future and implement. So yeah, that, thank you very much, Sushil, thank you
Definitely looking
absolutely.
forward to collaborate with
And
you
thank
in
you
your
for
platform.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much, and thank you for sharing some valuable insights regarding the IT/OT convergence.
Thank you, Sai.
So
Thanks for your time.
thank you, Sushil. Yeah. Okay.